Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and welcome. Today, we got something special. Something special. And my God, did I not know that this happened way back when? Now, I knew about it over the last, 2 months. Haven't gotten around to it. But when this actually did happen, I didn't know it happened. So, thanks to, at the time, Dan Slobodian on the channel for pointing it out and actually providing the links to these. And I went and looked and found it. And my God, the Witcher 4 tech demo. Super fucking cool. It's gonna be great. So we're gonna watch this today, and then there's a deep dive. We're gonna follow it up afterwards. So it'll be exciting. Very cool. More Witcher stuff. We beat Witcher 3 on the channel so thoroughly. So thoroughly. Both the Mace game and both DLCs, and it is still to this day one of the greatest games ever played. My God. Up there with Mass Effect and currently a number of others. I could talk about it all day, but we gotta get into this. So buckle up. It's gonna be a cool time. Witcher 4 Unreal Engine 5 tech demo. This is exciting because they are switching from the Red engine over to Unreal 5. Right? State of Unreal. I know they did a whole presentation, I guess, but this is just one section of that. The section that really matters. Technical presentation, not actual gameplay. Okay.
Sleep is he, the ploughing plonker. Break me pearlies on this blasted pit-ridden tract.
Aye.
With fear on dry road. Aye, the devil's out there! Just running from!
Oh, shit. Oh, is it in the air? He's lucky. That was debatable. Oh, he done. That's it. What the fuck is that? Oh my God. Is it like a vampire bat? What? Like an Ekimara?
Salt.
Funny.
Almost had me fooled, Fruin.
She looks so cool. God damn it. I hope we get the hood. Whew. Oh my God. That's pretty. Yeah, that's cool. This is exciting. This is huge.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the State of Unreal at Unreal Fest Orlando. We're here to show you what's next with Unreal Engine and so much more. We are thrilled that you're able to join us. Thank you. But first things first, I'm here with Sebastian and Kitek from CD Projekt Red. We have a lot to talk about. Hey, guys.
Hey. Thank you, Wyatt. Thank you, Wyatt, and hello, everyone. With The Witcher 4, we're stepping things up. And to do that, we needed the right partner, one that truly understands that great open-world games are all about art and technology coming together.
Yeah, and look, our goals are completely aligned here. And around the launch of UE5, your awesome team at CD Projekt Red announced a collaboration to make open world development in Unreal even better. And it's an opportunity, we just couldn't pass it up. So we've been working on a technical demo together to achieve just that. I think we should take a look at it. You guys ready?
Born ready. Kaitek is going to play the build for us.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. I was just getting into it.
This is a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4.
Oh, shit.
What you just saw and are going to see now is running on a standard PlayStation 5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing.
Oh, what? The base PS5 with ray tracing. 60 FPS.
So in the game, you'll be playing as Ciri, a professional monster slayer, a witcher. She explores the world and hunts down monsters for coin. The region we are in is called Kovir, and you'll get to explore it in the game.
Ooh.
Right
Kovir.
now, Ciri is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village.
This looks crazy good so far. Like, just the,
All right, everyone,
the fidelity.
meet Kelpie.
Let weeds be weeds, Kelpie.
So just like Geralt had Roach, Ciri has her own loyal companion.
Kelpie. That's...
We
what
return to town.
a cool name.
These two characters need to feel like one. Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding needs to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
Yeah, and to support that, we're introducing multi-character motion matching in Unreal. So Ciri and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. And we also support root motion movement on Kelpie, so controlling her feels realistic and grounded.
So it won't feel like clunky or janky.
And there are also some really nice improvements to our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So you've got realistic muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
What the hell? Like, I'm sorry, like the fact that you could see like the skin stretching and like
So
bulging
let's
from the
leave Ciri
muscles
behind
as
for a
it
second
moves.
and talk about the world itself. So much of the Witcher world is natural, organic, especially Kovir with its dense forest and wild nature.
Yeah, and wild nature is hard. And with nanite geometry, we've freed artists from so many of their old constraints. But we don't want to rest until everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do. And foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle. So we are excited to introduce nanite foliage. And in order to achieve gorgeous foliage density everywhere, while still being memory efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea was needed. So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the past 20 years, artists should be free to take a nanite approach to foliage, modeling every single leaf and pine needle. And the old LOD tricks of the past, they needed a complete rethink. And in their place, it's a new adaptive voxel representation in nanite. It's volumetric, it's fully 3D, it is super fast to render. And these dense clusters of triangles turn into these cubes, which at a distance, they're no larger than a pixel, and they react to the changing light of our dynamic sun and our shadows, and they allow artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve their vision without compromise.
That's insanity. So that's I'm not gonna go into a technical just talk about nanite, but my god, that shit is phenomenal, right? With Unreal 5. But with the foliage, that is huge. Because half the time you have to turn it down if you don't have like a really, you don't have a decently powerful PC, right? You gotta turn down the foliage. You gotta turn down, render distance. But with this, that kind of solves that for the most part. I mean, the fact that this is the base PS5.
And no compromise means how ambitious we are when it comes to bringing our vision to life with incredible visuals. But more than that, together with Epic, we created faster way to load the world. We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience as we fly down to catch up with Ciri.
It looks really good. It looks really good. Like the lighting,
Welcome
like
to
the
Valdrest.
colors.
So Valdrest is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade, and mining. It's one of those places where you can meet shady characters or overhear gossip from other lands. It's also where Ciri took on her current contract.
Ooh. I wonder how big this place is
Hi,
gonna be.
let's leave Kelpie here and explore the marketplace and food.
Like the continent.
And the missus?
I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff.
The fact that
Let's see
this
what
is
Valdrest has to
in
offer.
game.
Not her again.
Obviously, like some of this is like a vertical slice, right? But
I present him with a fish. For the furry rascal will often wink, and a bear's weight grants good fortune.
I like all the ambient conversations.
Guys, notice how responsive the world is.
I'm curious how responsive it actually is going to end up being.
Affect what happens around you. Sometimes even setting off chain reactions. Everything is working together.
Ambitious. That's
Look
so
at
cool.
this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent.
Never cheated Gwent. A game of honor.
Silver, round ones, what jingle in the purse.
Oh my god, there's so much happening in the background. Look at all the conversations and the people interacting
so
with each
This is
other.
the guy who gave the Ciri quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
You're off your tits again, Wilfred. Get your ass up.
Oh, Wilfred. Ooh.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? Ah, with Churess. What news of my wagons? No eternity is taking that damn salt to arrive.
I found them. And, well, suffice to say,
Sorry.
they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I found not one speck. I presume this comes as no surprise to you. Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is of no concern to me.
Shush, shush, shush.
The manticore that flattened your cart
Ooh,
and devoured your
Manticore.
men. Quite the opposite.
Manticore? No, them winged hellspawn dwell in the arse end of Creighton. Not here.
While Ciri decides what to do about that merchant, let's take a look at the character technology that powers this
The
marketplace.
animations on her face were
Why
so
don't we listen
smooth.
in on these fishmongers? They're selling their wares, chatting up customers.
Morning catch this is. Won't find none fresher.
Rugged me ladies after one of them.
Course. Get this cleaned and gutted for you. You mind, dearest? Into seeing something more. Got mackerel, cod, all Brexit's finest.
And there is tons of tech to play here, even in this simple market stall. Metahuman tools, improved Unreal smart objects, chaos cloth, and more.
Yeah, and all of this exists to make sure that the gap in quality between Ciri and NPCs is as small as possible.
Yeah, and closing that gap, it's not just about fidelity, right, but also authenticity. They should react to changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in Pillory isn't exciting enough for Valdrest. Let's grab everyone's attention with a circus.
So I guess like these would be things that happen like over time,
But
or
the great performance deserves a huge crowd though. Let's
depending on
crank
when
it
you
up.
come back to the city.
So you are seeing tons of optimizations here to many of Unreal's systems, including an entirely new Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit easily in our 60 FPS budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread. Over 300 animated skeletal mesh agents all going about their business. And the whole point is to leave breathing room for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your players expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You are right. And that's the open world RPG that we're making. But
So all of this is happening in real, theoretically, right? As in, the idea of the final product will be all of this happening in real time around us while we're walking through. There are going to be people interacting with each other. I like the cart salesman, right? Or the fish salesman, right? He's selling his stuff, right? That whole conversation, that interaction, like obviously maybe there's going to be like maybe like 2 or 3 or 4 different ones and they kind of repeat, maybe like shuffled, but that whole interaction does occur in real time, and it could happen while they're also here listening to the music, because like the music and performances happened in The Witcher 3, but and there were people standing around, you know, like in Novigrad and stuff like that. There would be reactions to us walking by, and there'd be some conversations that they would have, but it was very limited, which is not I mean, it was of the time. It wasn't even not even like a criticism, I would think, but this is ambitious. And it looks incredible. Right? This is just one town. It's just one town. Right?
But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with Ciri?
Ciri looks amazing. It's weird seeing her so grown up now.
We are making this game to be the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever.
Yeah.
And we are making this a reality thanks to our work on Unreal with the team at Epic. I think what we are doing together is going to bring in a new generation of open world RPGs. And
I hope
I'm
so.
so proud of what we accomplished so far.
We are too.
That was a
we're almost done, but
manticore.
before
That's
we
cool.
Go, here's a small gift for all Witcher fans.
What?
A first look at Lanexeter.
God damn. That is incredible. Oh, there he goes.
Onward, Kelpie. With what?
Isn't Kelpie like a seahorse? Like a real Kelpie? Like it's real, but... Oh, that's so cool. That was rad. She looks incredible. God damn. That is a killer shot. So there's this town that we're in now. There's obviously all the little things down there that we could see, right? Like there's all this, and then this little area. I say little, right? And then, I mean, just going, there's so much that could be happening in here, little interactions here, all this stuff over all this, right? You see like the bridges, and then there's obviously a ship out here. And this is just like a part of it, right? This is, man, this is going to be wild. This is going to be incredible. I can't believe 60 FPS, base PS5. That is nuts. That is nuts. With ray tracing.
The technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4.
The wind blowing her cloak. Now again, this is a vertical slice, right? So it's just like a section of curated development gameplay. So obviously, end result will probably be very different. It might be pretty close, but this is what they're showing. Based on what they're showing, it is really good. Like, look, that
What
is
you just
so
saw
smooth.
And are going to see now is running on
As the trees are
standard
blowing in the
PlayStation
background.
5 at 60 FPS.
Her two sword, right? Man.
With ray tracing. So in the game, you'll be playing as Ciri, a professional monster slayer, a witcher. She explores the world and hunts down monsters for coin. The region we are in is called Kovir, and you'll get to explore it in a game. Right now,
I wonder how many times I'm gonna fall off ledges and shit by getting too close to them.
Ciri is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village.
Can she handle more than 5 feet of fall damage? Well, 5 feet's too much. 2 feet. Can we land 2 feet and not completely die? That'd be pretty sick.
All right, everyone, meet Kelpie.
I think it is great that she has a horse. It's a cool looking horse. This is a big ass horse.
We return to town.
Companion.
Sorry, hold on.
We return to town.
What a shot. Looks great. And so her eyes are cat eyes. Right? So and we see her necklace, right? I think it's the lynx, right? Which I imagine is, I don't think that was an official school. I don't think the lynx is an actual school. Like, and when I say actual school, I'm talking like in Sapkowski's books. God, I hope I pronounced his name right. I've never actually heard it said out loud. But in Sapkowski? But anyway, in the books, I'm pretty sure that school doesn't actually exist, so it's an original one created here, right? So I think that's gonna be interesting how that plays, right? Whether she's the one that made the school or found it or something, right? But the implication is that she has the mutations, right? Which again, somebody of her power, right, being, the child of destiny, I imagine that probably lends to her surviving the trials, right? The trial of the grasses, right? If they did do it, right? Because I don't want to. We could be here for a while talking about it, but the fact that in The Witcher 3 you do kind of make that same potion again, and go through that process. It was pretty bad, but what are the odds of doing it again? Right? What are the odds of doing it again for Ciri? Right? Because I mean, Vasimir's gone, but the process of creating witchers is a horrible thing. It's a horrible. They like, every witcher who's become a witcher knows that the process is like fucking awful. Right? So somehow she's gone through the mutation process. Obviously, I imagine her power probably allows her to, not die from it. But the idea that she would have, I would imagine she has her, her powers still on top of having the mutations. Now, it is interesting that she would choose to get the mutations. I guess it helped. I mean, obviously it helps, right? The decoctions and potions and stuff of witchers is huge, incredibly useful. Like all the abilities, like taking your, traits of your enemy and making them your own, right? Very cool. Like just the black cat potion, I think is like one of my favorite potions in The Witcher 3, right? But it just makes me think, right? Because she's got the two swords, right? Steel, silver, allegedly, right? I would imagine. And then she has her powers. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if they confirmed that or not. But the fact that she's got the eyes implies that she has the mutations. Right? Because we saw in the original trailer, she did pull power from the water when she was in that cave. So I'm imagining that is her natural born power. Right? But she chose to take the mutations on, probably to make herself a better witcher, to be a witcher. But I don't know if it was needed. I don't know. I'm very curious if they're gonna, at what point are we gonna see it? Are we gonna know about it? Are we gonna talk about it? Is there gonna be like a flashback, or is it gonna start at a certain point and skip, kind of like how The Witcher 3 did in the beginning tutorial, seeing like child Ciri and then, having that interaction? I don't know. Be very curious to see it, because this looks great. Man, it's pretty. Look at that is a crazy shot.
And to Ciri and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized.
Right, just the like the trees, the light,
when mounting from any angle and speed.
and that's going to be interesting, right? Because we can mount more efficiently from any speed instead of, because Geralt could mount pretty well with what I experienced playing The Witcher 3. Right? There were some moments that it was kind of like awkward getting on Roach. There were some moments that were very smooth getting on Roach. Right? Especially like if you were sprinting at Roach from behind, you know, and you try to mount Roach from behind, you'll like hop up on him, right? And I think that's great. But you know, there's a couple times that was kind of a little awkward, right? Especially when you call Roach in and then sprints past you by like 10 feet, and then you gotta go chase him down, and then you're trying to get the right angle so you can get up on him. I'm hoping and imagining that this is gonna be a little bit easier.
And grounded. And there are also some really nice, so you've got real.
This is crazy. Just aesthetically. Is it necessary? Not at all. Not at all. They could have just made a basic horse. But if I say basic horse, I mean they could have just done the same thing they did with The Witcher 3, but take it at that extra mile.
Muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without
right, and I'm paying attention to like this, right? Because you see like the thigh muscles and everything changing. Now, apparently, that's not really affecting the performance at all, which I think is nuts. Because again, if it had a significant like performance impact, I'd be like, that's kind of what a kind of waste. It's how I kind of imagine ray tracing. It's a horrible use of computer resources, console resources, really anything you're playing on with ray tracing, right? If you're not upscaling it with AI, ray tracing just tanks all your stuff. It's not worth it. The reward you get from using it is not worth the performance needed to get to where it, it evens out.
Compromising the performance there.
The fact that this just looks this good and has absolutely no downside, right? Conceptually, is incredible. Because this game's going to look ridiculous. Crazy.
So let's leave Ciri behind for a second and talk about the world itself. So much of the Witcher world.
This is a crazy shot, right? Because we see this. This is where we ended up, right? So theoretically, just like in The Witcher 3 with a lot of the areas, you can go all the way down here without a single loading screen, make it all the way into town, hang out, do the stuff here, all the stuff, and then go over this way, right? Head over yonder to over here. Then go across this bridge, go over here, swim across this part of the water, go over here, up there. Woo. This is going to be great. This is going to be very fascinating. I'm hoping we see more in the future because it's a good first impression groundwork of what to kind of expect. Right? I know it doesn't go into like, oh, what's the story, what's everything, but as far as like what it's going to look like, the aesthetic style that they're going for, it's very good. It gives
Is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade, and mining.
Right, and the fact that we're here, I'm just wondering also like how big the continent's going to be.
It's also where Ciri took on her current contract, marketplace and food.
And the missus?
I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff. Let's see what Valdres has to offer.
Right, I do wonder if you can take off and on the hood by will. That's also another thing. That'd be very fun. Very smooth. Obviously, like pushing past people, you know, then the comments by everybody about her being a Witcher, right? Similar to Geralt. Same stuff. Witchers are...
Guys, notice how responsive
the reputation of Witchers over here. I'm very curious how that's going to be received. Probably the same way.
world is.
Not very great.
Character actions directly affect what happens around you.
That's outrageous. That's crazy. I'd be very impressed to see how often something like that actually happens. Because that is cool. Like if they actually are able to like pull all this off, very cool, right? The fact that you can knock over food and then some of the kids or other people will come over and steal that food, right? It's interesting. The fact that was it right here?
Oh, look at this poor gentleman being
Guys begging for money, right? I imagine there's probably like a pop-up or something you can do where you toss a coin to him, right? Instead of the other way around. And this dude being kicked out of the bar, I wonder if you can overhear what's going on.
how to fly.
I could sit here for another half an hour talk about like what could. This is all interesting. Right?
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the Ciri the question on. Like, you probably suspect.
What is it?
Salt to arrive.
I found them. And, well, suffice to say, they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I found not one speck.
I'm looking forward to this a lot. I really am, and I really do hope that, you know, it's as good as it feels like it's gonna be. I am curious how her powers. Last thing we're gonna talk about, right? Because I don't want to trap you guys here for this long, right? Because I also want to know what you guys think. So you gotta let me know. But I'm curious how much of her powers we're gonna be able to mess with, and how much of the Witcher side stuff we're going to be able to mess with. Because if you look at The Witcher 3, and this is my mind working with this entire game, is we saw all the mutations and the different skills that can be, you know, put into. Like we can mutate for the different abilities, and you know, you got like whirlwind, stuff like that, right? And how are we going to be able to do those same kind of things? Like, are mutagens going to be a thing? Are those coming back? Or is it going to be like a different process because maybe her genetic makeup is different, right? Being Ciri, but with the mutations? Or is it going to be kind of like maybe two different development trees as far as like, her powers are going to be one tree that we can do different things with, enhance certain ways that she can do stuff, or are things going to be a little bit more restricted? One example I'm thinking of is in The Witcher 3, right? How her dodge is like the teleport dash. Is that still here? Can she still do that? And I hope so, right? I hope so. And if she can't, I'd be very curious why. Right, or if they're gonna say, "Oh, her Witcher powers, her Witcher mutations, affected her natural power, and so like it works differently than it did before." Maybe, right? Which I feel like gameplay wise, if they were like, "Yeah, we had to do that," I'd be like, "Okay, sure," kind of a bummer. But my point is with the dashing, I'd be very curious if we could still do that, or we can kind of play into more things that she can do with that power, or lean into the Witcher side more, or one or the other. I feel like that would give a lot of versatility, a lot more of the, RPG build style. Right? It'd be neat. It'd be neat. But either way, thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been incredible. There is a deep dive. There's a deep dive video that they go into all the tech behind this. Probably gonna make it a separate video just because I know that one's probably like 50 minutes long or something similar to that. So that'll be something. That'll be cool, right? So look forward to that. That'd be fun. Let me know what you guys think about The Witcher 4 that they showed off in the tech demo here, and I guess the previous trailer. I don't know if there's anything else they've shown off, right? I don't know. So if there is, let me know, because I need to see it. We need to see it. Yeah, check it out. So thanks again for watching. Really, really appreciate it. See you guys in the next video, whatever that ends up being. Bye bye.